We're shaking and baking, cool cats. What's cracking, slacking? It's me,
Yes,
G
that's-
Money.
Go ahead.
What's cracking, slacking, cool cats? It's me, G Money. I am back, baby, with my best bud, Chef Dan. Can't wait for this Christmas season to get on track. Hope everyone's doing safe, staying healthy from the pandemic, and we're gonna talk some beautiful hoops. What's going on, Chef Dan?
Salute to you, G Money. Hope all is doing well. It's the start. Well, we're now roughly 30 games into the NBA season. Some football started. Rangers hockey is going. It's a whole lot of sports everywhere. But you know what you came here to hear, and that's the Notorious G's take on the NBA and everything going on in the NBA. This man is a wise brother. He knows what's going on in regards to all of the league. So we can talk about, with 30 games in, everyone's got a number of sample size of what they are, who they are. I just want to start things off, man. 30 games in.
Right.
Certain teams are starting to make their mark on who's contending. Other teams, they're trying to get on a run to get into contendership. And there's others just waiting for Wembanyama. Yep. I want to ask you, starting off, who's your top three most surprising teams in the NBA so far?
My top three surprising teams that's caught my eyeball is the New Orleans Pelicans. Look at this. Number 2 in the Western Conference, 18-11. I know they're on a 3-game slide right now, but they average 117 points per game. Zion Williamson has been just electrifying, averaging 30-plus this year, going to the hole, made big-time plays. Alvarado, sneaky like a snake. Great defense, had multiple big shots, especially that 38-point explosion he had on the Denver Nuggets earlier. So the New Orleans Pelicans are one of my surprise teams. Another surprise team, and no one's talking about this team enough, the Sacramento Kings. Bro, they've been electric. They've been red hot. They won 2 straight games. They're 16-12 in the season. They're 4 games above 500. And remember, bro, they started off 0-4 this season, though. They started off down the dumps, but they've been scorching. They're 16-8 ever since, though. They went 3-3 on their road trip. They have a homestand coming up to end 2022 the year. They've been big time this season. They've had some very, very good wins. They blew out Brooklyn on the road. They blew out Brooklyn at home, 153 points on a TNT game. They've been big. They won at Memphis early in the year. De'Aaron Fox has been amazing this season, averaging almost a double-double. Sabonis playing like an all-star this year. Matt Dellavedova playing great defense. Malik Monk, big time. Kevin Huerter, dead-eye from downtown. The Sacramento Kings are one of my surprises too. And another surprise team that I think people should give more respect is the Knickerbockers, the New York Knicks. I mean, think about it. They started off 10-13. It looked like they were going to be in the plane. Looked like they were going to miss the playoffs entirely. But this team has turned up a notch. They've won 7 straight games for the first time since 2021 when New York won 9 straight games that year. Also, the fact that you have R.J. Barrett finding himself, Julius Randle finding himself. You also have what's cracking second, Brandon Schuss. You also have JB, Jalen Brunson has been cool, calm, collected. The Brunson burner has been on. He had a 30-point extravaganza he had against Indiana last night. Hit a big time 3, had a big to put within 3, had a big steal to get slice lead to 1. He's been big. So my surprise teams to this point are New Orleans, Sacramento, and New York for my surprise teams.
All right, I'm in a bit of an agreement with you there. If there's any team that I would slot in, not because of what I thought they would do, but because of what I thought they weren't gonna do, and ended up coming out on top. The biggest surprise to me would be the Boston Celtics, coming off of that, the helter-skelter offseason where there were rumors about potential key players being traded for Kevin Durant, a player that they just swept in the playoffs. But then in the same note, you lose your coach in Ime Udoka, who he was close enough to being coach of the year based on the turnaround he did with them. And now you have this going on. It's a bit of a surprise that they're able to keep and maintain the top of the East Coast. And it seems like they've just bounced back from the last half of the year last year into this year. So now, as we usually do, as it's usually done, there is balance in the world. Where there are winners, there must be losers.
Mm-hmm.
So where there are surprises, there must be disappointments.
Yep.
G-Money, please hit us with your first disappointing team of the NBA season.
My first disappointing team that's been the Chicago Bulls. I mean, gee whiz. Look at the Chicago Bulls. They're 11-18. They lost 4 in a row. And look at this, homie. The Bulls are the worst team in the clutch. They can't win in close games. 3-11 the clutch. They just lost a heartbreaker to New York, losing by 8 in overtime. They just gave up a $150 to Minnesota, who came out in the night. D'Lo tormented them with 28 points. Ant-Man looked like Jason Kidd in steroids. 37 points at times, 11 dishes out there. He looked like AI missed him with Jason Kidd in steroids. He just was destroying them, man. Zach LaVine doesn't fit with DeRozan. DeRozan and Vucevic don't fit together. The Bulls play no defense, man. So, I mean, they're top 10 defensive rating, but if you actually watch the games, it looks like their defense is so inconsistent, though. Losing Lonzo Ball is big, you lose a playmaker and a guy that can hit the 3. So the Bulls are a disappointing team for me. Another disappointing team for me is the Golden State Warriors, the defending champs, though. I know they just came off from putting the Raptors to extension, but if you're the Warriors, right, look at this, bro. The Warriors are 12-2 at Chase Center at home, but they're a ghastly 3-14 on the road. Gee whiz. And they have some very horrible losses on the road. They lost to the Magic, lost to the Pistons, lost to the Hornets on the road. The only 3 road wins they've had was the Raptors game last night, the T-Wolves, and the Rockets, and they barely beat the Houston Rockets on the road. The Warriors have just been awful on the road. And the problem I have with Golden State, they also stunk in the clutch. They're 5-10 in the clutch. Their defense has been atrocious. It's their worst defensive team in the Steve Kerr era. Steph Curry is now hobbled. He has a shoulder injury. He's going to be out for a month. I mean, Klay Thompson's been inconsistent this year. Jordan Poole had a monster 43-point extravaganza last night. He's been up and down. Wiggins has been out for a while. Missed the last 6 games now. This team is one of the worst benches in the league. They're bottom 10 in bench scoring. This team's just been awful on the road. That's one of my disappointing teams. Another disappointing team and people should talk about more, the Toronto Raptors. 13-17 this year, number 10 in the East. They lost 5 straight games overall, and it has some really, really, really disappointing L's. They got thunderstruck by OKC, lost to Orlando twice. I mean, they just came off a disappointing loss to Sacramento, having a big lead in that game, and then get mollywopped by Golden State without Steph and Wiggins. So my disappointed teams are Chicago, Toronto, and Golden State.
All right. We're hoping to see some of those teams. Golden State primarily, you want them to kind of see what they can do to change things up. You kind of really just hoping they get Steph Curry back and other people get in the rhythm, and that way you kind of get the ball rolling. But other than that, like you said, it's been disappointing for Chicago and Toronto. Toronto especially. Toronto coming off of a great season where they got Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes was essentially a Rookie of the Year. They showcased a tough outing in the playoffs, and now they're just struggling, looking to be in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. So we're looking to see how they can clean that up. Also on the season, they talk about it all the time. Biggest trade rumors. You know, there's always going to be teams like the Knicks, the Lakers, the Clippers, Golden State, plenty of teams, and even some teams that we feel are going to end up tanking. So I want to ask you, what have you heard? Let's narrow it down to 3. What have been the biggest trade rumors you've heard, and do you think it could potentially help the team within the trade rumor?
Well, one big trade rumor that I've heard is Jakob Poeltl. I know he's not the juiciest player in the NBA, but Jakob Poeltl is a good defender. He can rebound the ball, and he's an underrated.
Jakob Poeltl from where to where?
Well, Jakob Poeltl, I heard many teams. I heard the Chicago Bulls could get him, or the Golden State Warriors. I also heard that maybe even the Toronto Raptors could get Jakob Poeltl back, because he was with the Raptors before until they traded him to San Antonio. So, because those teams struggle on the boards a lot. Toronto, Chicago, Golden State, they're just horrendous on the board, and they don't have rim protection. So I heard Jakob Poeltl trade rumors there to those teams, though. Also, another trade rumor.
Wait, what you said, it would help out in the rebounding.
And rim protection, yeah.
Okay. Second biggest trade rumor. Who's a player from what team and what to what teams?
Well, I heard also Eric Gordon is on trade rumors too, though, from who's on the Houston Rockets, on a deadly spot-eye shooter. And I heard a team like the New York Knicks or the Los Angeles Lakers want Eric Gordon, because those two teams, even though New York has turned things around, those two teams still struggle with shooting the ball. And Eric Gordon's a guy that can also put the ball on the floor, and he can slash to the hole. So the trade rumors I heard is Eric Gordon to the Knicks and the Lakers.
Yeah, absolutely right. Both teams definitely do need shooting. Third trade rumor, player from who to where, and does it help? Go.
Okay. Another trade rumor that I've been hearing a lot is also, and this is a crazy trade rumor I've been hearing, Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant for each other. I'm like, wow. Like, think about it. The Lakers, like AD, we all know he's injury prone. And he's been having a great year, averaging almost 30 points per game. But we all know his injury history, and he lacks heart sometimes. So I've been hearing the AD, Kevin Durant rumors. Kevin Durant's had a magnificent season, averaging 30 plus. He's one of the 7 players to average 30 points per game this year. And the Lakers trying to get Kevin Durant from the Nets too, because the Lakers need another go-to guy to help out LeBron. So that's what I've been hearing.
All right. Biggest rumor for me that I've heard, well, they're wishy-washy on, is the Lakers have had a fever pitch all offseason and probably last year to try and trade Russell Westbrook. I think ever since they've got him on the bench, he's been playing like a true 6th man of the year. He's been helping them out. So I don't know if they're going to be willing to trade Russ yet, or just let that money come off the books and potentially sign him to a cheaper deal. We don't know, but the Lakers, we're always going to keep an eye out on the Lakers, because they're always trying to wheel and deal. Now, on from that topic to the next topic. Coming up, Christmas Day matchups. We got some big matchups coming up on Christmas Day, man. Juicy,
spicy matches. Yes, sirree. First off, we start off with the Knickerbockers against the Sixers at MSG. This is the first time that Philly and New York will go due to the death on Christmas Day since 2017-18 year in which the Sixers beat the Knicks. That'll be an underrated matchup because you have a Knicks team who's won 7 in a row. They've won 3 in a row at home. You have a Sixers team starting to find the corner a little bit though. They're 16-12 right now. They're fifth in the Eastern Conference. They won 4 in a row during the current 7-game homestand. So that'll be big there. You have James Harden, Joel Embiid dueling at MSG against JR30, Julius Randle, JB11, Jalen Brunson, and RJ Barrett. That'll be fun there. Then 2:30, you got those White Stallions from Dallas, the Dallas Mavericks hosting King James, Russell Westbrook, and the Los Angeles Lakers at American Airlines Center in Big D. This is the first time since 2020-2021 year in which the Lakers play the Mavs on Christmas. But remember, the Lakers wallop the Mavs at Staples in LA. The Lakers will be on the road for the first time on Christmas since they blew the Warriors out in Oracle Arena 2018-19. And this is the Mavs' first home Christmas game since they got mollywopped, got smoked by the Heat 2011-2012. So I think that will probably be a dud. I think the Mavs win this game going away. I know the Lakers are starting to play a little bit better. They started off 2-10. Ever since then, they're 9-6 in the last 15 games. But here's the thing: the Lakers have been booty juice on the road. They're 5-9 on the road. The Mavericks, even though yes, they've kind of been disappointing themselves, only 9th in the Western Conference, they're 12-5 at home. So I think that the Mavericks win this game going away. Salute Chi-Town, what's cracking slacking, homie? So I think the Mavericks win this game going away. Another game, and I think people are going to be sit back, drinking their eggnog, enjoying their turkey, their ham, and Christmas cookies. The Boston Celtics against the Milwaukee Bucks in Beantown. For the second straight year, these two Clash of the Titans will go up against each other. Remember, last year, Milwaukee was down double digits, stormed back, and beat the feisty Leprechauns in Milwaukee. This time around, Boston's going to be at home trying to get their comeuppance against Milwaukee. And think about that. The Bucks are number 1 in the Eastern Conference. The C's are number 2 in the Eastern Conference. So that should be spicy there. I think that might be the best game of the night. Don't be surprised for an overtime. Then after that, you got the Grizz and the Warriors. When we first saw this matchup, we thought the spiciness, the juiciness, the camaraderie, the anger between Memphis and Golden State. Remember Klay Thompson and Jaren Jackson were back and forth after the Warriors won the title last year. We thought John Morant versus the Chef, but the Chef is going to be in street clothes. Watching this game, sadly. But this should be a decent game. I think Memphis pulls this game out. I think they win by double digits, but I think Golden State hangs around at Chase Center. For the first time ever, the Grizzlies will be on Christmas Day. Gesundheit. And then 10:30, you got the young and fun Phoenix Suns who have just been ghastly on the road, 5-9 on the road against the Denver Nuggets at Ball Arena in Denver. This is the Nuggets' first Christmas game since they beat the Clippers 2020-2021 year. So that'll be the first Christmas game for the Nuggets, and the Suns will be on the road for the first time in a while on Christmas Day. If you look at the beautiful Christmas slate, this is amazing. You got the Sixers and the Knicks, Lakers and the Mavs. I would skip that game if I were you. Bucks and Celtics due to the battle of the Titans. Grizz and the Dubs from Chase Center. And then you got the Suns and the Nuggets from the Mile High City. Rematch of the 2021 Western Conference semis.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's going to be an excellent showcasing of games. I'm excited for that as well. One thing I wish, I know the NBA didn't know, but that's probably because a lot of the times they don't have their finger on the pulse and where it's supposed to happen. I mean, they granted the Grizz and the Warriors, that was matchup, but I think they messed up on the last one. Suns versus Pelicans, especially coming with the firepower that they
Suns versus Nuggets.
Suns and Pelicans, I think would have been a way better matchup because those two were really going at it earlier this year.
Right.
Move on from there though to the last topic. I gotta ask you, 30 games in, it's never too soon. Top 5 MVP candidates.
My top 5 MVP candidates.
And not in any order. You just name them out there.
For me, you gotta put Spider Mitchell up there. Spider Mitchell has just been dynamite. I mean, look at this. Averaging 29.5 points per game, 50% from the field, 42% from the great beyond. Spider Mitchell should be up there, leading the cast to a top 3 seed. Another MVP candidate that I think people should talk about more, JT, Jason Tatum, the feisty leprechaun from B-Town, the head leprechaun, averaging 30 PPG, 47% from the field, in a splashing 36% from downtown, leading the Celtics to a number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Jason Tatum should be up there too. Another guy that I think should be in the crumb of the crumb for MVP, the Greek Freak, averaging 31, 11, and 5 with 1 swat per game, leading the Bucks to number 1 seed despite Chris Middleton being hobbled for a while. You gotta put the Greek Freak up there, lean there. And another MVP candidate that I think should get some more respect, Ja Morant. Morant has been amazing. It's been a Morant miracle for the Grizz, averaging 27 this year on 8 dishes per game, 7 boards per game, 45% from the field, 34% from 3, leading the Grizz to the best record in the Western Conference, though. Just amazing. And to me, and I agree with AZ King, Devin Booker. I know the Suns have kind of been disappointing, but the fact that Devin Booker has had some monster games this year. He had a 58-piece on the Pelicans, just wing dinner with fries and hit some dagger shots. So Devin Booker showed that still little Johnny Davis was cracking his stock. He's averaging 28 points per game this year, 48% from the field, a sensational 37% from the great beyond, and 85% at the free throw line. So Devin Booker should be up there. So my MVP candidates are Spider Mitchell, the Greek Freak, JT, Ja Morant, and D Book.
I'm in agreement with you there, except for maybe Ja Morant and Devin Booker. If anything, Ja Morant, I'd have to argue a little bit, but Devin Booker, I don't know about that. If anything, who I put in my, let me see, looking at the standings.
What about you?
I gotta put Zion in there.
Zion too, yeah, that's a big one. I love that.
I gotta put Zion. I would switch out Devin Booker for Zion because I think Zion. I know Devin Booker, he has these amazing performances, but statistically, what Zion is doing, like he himself, the way the style he plays is statistically an anomaly. But he's still getting it done and helping this team be second in the Western Conference in a tough Western Conference, essentially just one game back. So. That would be my substitute there. But all in all, that's a great MVP list, man.
Thank you. And I want to add a little McNugget to the Christmas schedule. This would be the first time the Bucks and Celtics will see each other since last year's playoffs, in which the Celtics dethroned the Bucks from their crown in 7 games in the Eastern Conference semis. Should be juicy.
It is going to be juicy. It's going to be a big matchup. That one might even dictate the way the rest of the season goes, as far as who ends up on the losing side and things of that nature. So I'm excited for that. Is there anything else you would like to bring up before we close it out, G Money?
I want to ask you, what is one Christmas game that you think is going to be your favorite Christmas game? What is one Christmas game you think will get you hyped?
I'm going to pay attention to the Knicks and the Sixers. That's the one I'm a Knicks fan. I'm hyped for that one. And me personally, I just I don't get it. I don't get that same itch watching other teams that I do with the Knicks. So it's gonna be the Knicks and the 76ers. 76ers have been struggling a bit, but at the same time, they always James Harden always chooses a game versus the Knicks to get right. So we shall see if the Knicks are able to stop that, stymie that, and play some tough defense and lock things down over there in the Sixers. But that's a great matchup to me. Last question to ask you before we go. Non-holiday matchup. Is there any matchup coming up in the schedule just around, maybe around just before All-Star break or just after All-Star break? Is there a matchup that you're looking forward to the most?
A matchup that I think people should look more into, and this is a non-Christmas matchup. For me, Bucks and Nets coming up on Wednesday. Coming up on Friday. Bucks and Nets seems like a good game though, because you have two teams who are starting to been right. I know Milwaukee's kind of been such a friend as of late, but Milwaukee's on the crumb of the crumb as far as the East wise. And Brooklyn, they've been scorching. 6 straight wins. KD, Kyrie, electrifying. Could score within the best zone. Just came out 43 and 38 respectively. Just magnificent though. So I think that, that'll be a game that people should watch. Bucks and Nets on Friday night in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's a big matchup. I'm in total agreement with you there. That's a big matchup, a tone setter. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Oh man, that is really a big matchup. Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us on the Notorious G Money Hoops podcast. I am Chef Dan. G Money, give them your last thoughts.
Thank you, Chef Dan. Salute everyone. Thank you for coming into the show. Please smash those likes, everyone. Please smash those likes, though. Also, enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy the New Year. Stay healthy. Stay strong. Don't drink too much eggnog. Also, enjoy your Christmas cookies. Give, share, love, honor, respect many people. Also, thank the Lord for this next day. And also, just enjoy the presents and enjoy the games, everyone. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Deuces.
Peace.